Ah, waddle daddle doo. Oh, too big. Have you have you heard of a little film called what's it called? I Am Legend, starring William Smythe, as he's known over here in the UK. That's another, difference from the UK to the US. Certain celebrities have different names over here. Will Smith is known as William Smythe, or in the slightly more upper class places, Wilfred Smithington. Wilfred Smithington, star of such shows as the Fresh Principality of Bellend in the Air. That's Wilfred Smithington. Smithington the third. Not so much a fan of his offspring, Jadanthian. This is really not at all what I was planning on fucking going on about. I am legend. Or legend. I'm the end of all ledges. The ledge to end all ledges. Ledge end. Yeah, we get it. Well, that was... Did you know it used to be a book? I know. Crazy how these things work out. But it did. It used to be a book, and now it's not anymore. They killed the book off. The book's dead and gone, buried like a vampire. See it all? It's like poetry. It rhymes. Oh, quote unquote, George fuck Lucas. Well, it is still a book, I guess, if you're into those old things, books. Oh, showing my age a bit, I think. So it, well, it used. So it was. So it is and am and are of. Am a book. What the fuck am I even? Oh, it's like the old podcasts, isn't it? Oh, where, I had no fucking idea what I was doing. So it was a book originally, then they made it into a film in like the fucking, I don't know, 1600s or something. And then it was made into the Charlton Heston movie, Omega Man, which is something of a classic in its own right, but kind of pap, frankly, just not very good. Like, could be better considering the source material and whatnot. I wanted his shoulders to be slimmer. I'm taking too fucking pissy piss over this. Cool. Well, it was written by the book, that is. So it was Omega Man, and then the film everybody knows and loves, or is indifferent to, or doesn't like it because it has a black male star as the protagonist, Mr. Smythe. I'm just saying some people might not like it for that reason, because they might be, supremacists of a certain persuasion. I'm not. I thought the film was okay. I thought it was actually really good. But it was a book, Richard by Ritten Matheson. God, what's wrong with my throat today? Oh, too much cum. Swallowing too much cum down my throat. Yes, please. it uh, it was a book. That's what I was trying to say. Written by Richard Matheson, who also wrote The Incredible Shrinking Man, which is a very, very good book. And a film, I have it on DVD. Back when those were, remember when they, oh, how old am I? It was it's quite a good film. I think that was literally in the 50s or 60s. That was made, black and white. Really rather good considering. They did quite well with the whole making him smaller, because it was about a guy who incredibly shrunk. I know. How do they come up with? He's a horror writer. He's written a bunch of horror. You may remember or recall at least a Simpsons episode, if nothing else. Actually, even that's probably old hat by now, where on the side of the bus on one of the Halloween episodes there was like a little imp thing, which was based on, I guess roughly based on, if not the book, the film starring William Shatner of Star Trek fame, James T. Kirk. Jesus, I didn't even realise I knew this much pop culture. Oh, buddy. And it's... he wrote that as well. The whole... was it Nightmare at 20,000 Feet, I think it was called. Where there's like a guy on the wing, and it's, oh no, the man on the plane sees a guy on the wing, but no one believes him, and he has to do something about it, and it comes to dangerous, danger. So that he wrote that also, because he wrote shitload of stuff. He's a writer. That's what they do. Short stories. I prefer short horror stories to long, drawn-out horror stories. Quite fittingly, in terms of what I'm drawing, Ritus Nowus. The Dracula is one of my favourite ? Books. Partly just because of what it is and what it represents. But the actual book itself, I find kind of drawn out. It goes on a bit, and I don't like parts of how it's written. But as a whole, for what it is, it's one of my favourite books. And it's just an easy thing to use if someone says, oh, what's your favourite book? And you go, Dracula. That'll do. Fine. Relevant, you'll see, because of things. So there's a short story written by Richard Matheson, who wrote I Am Legend. God, it's a long-winded introduction. There's a short story called Blood Sun, which tells the tale. It's about 10 pages long, of a young boy named Jules, who was just odd, straight from birth, very, very odd child, very pale with a big head, didn't speak. His first word was death. And he had all these ideas in his head but didn't know how to articulate them. And then one day he happened to go to the cinema and he saw the movie Dracula. It didn't specify which edition. I assume the one with Keanu Reeves. But in my mind, it's more like the sort of Bela Lugosi, olden day black and white Dracula. It's probably the one he saw. Then he is obsessed with it. He's like, shit, that's like, this sparks something inside him, which is like, who he is and what he wants. He finds the book, memorizes it, and then he becomes obsessed with this whole idea of being a vampire, wanting to drink girls' blood and such. I won't spoil the ending, but there's a bat in it, so that's something. And it's, I like it. It's a very nice little tale. So this is what I'm drawing now. This is Jules, slightly grown up, with the book of Dracula. And a bat in the background. But more so, I thought of a fun little sort of video / drawing project to do, since it's a short story, it could work quite well, is what I'm going to do. This is just for fun, just for funsies, to fill the time during a podcast, a little something to do, something to look at while I talk. A fun project could be, which I will try to do as ASAP, as soon as possible, would be to do an illustration for each page of this 10-page story. So pick one sort of image from each page, illustrate it, and have 10 images. But there's more. I figured, it's cool. It would be cool to video it. Obviously, just I'm trying to create more video content anyway. But it would be cool to video it, and then I think I could do a story time, tell a story from my childhood, or Then it hit me, the story time is the thing you're drawing. It's a short story. It probably won't take more than a minute to read each page. So I'll read the story for the audio, and then have a sped up time-lapse video of me illustrating each page as I'm reading each page. So then each page will take a minute to, I'll speed it up so it's a minute, and then you'll hear me turn the page as I'm reading it, and then you'll see me go on to draw the next page that I'm reading. Yeah? Fucking cool idea, right? Of course, only a few people watch these Patreon videos, or these podcasts, as I do them on my Patreon. So those people will be like, oh, I'll see that when it comes out. For everyone else, it probably would have already been out by now. I would have already done it, and you might have seen it. I'll probably put part of it on my Instagram, and then let me know what you thought, I guess. But yeah, so that's something. This video, this one currently, this podcast episode, was going to be a bit of a rant. I tried to not have it too down in the dumps. So speak about something I'm doing, something I've got going on, or not even that, but just an idea I had for a thing I could do. Rather, but it's not even a rant. There's just topics. So as of recording, I took a few days away from media. I turned my phone off for a few days. Also had a self-imposed abstaining from masturbation, because it's getting to be a problem. Quarantine, whatever, but also the fact that I'm now self-employed and I can just fucking pull on my pud as and when I please, and that is usually often. And I've spoken before about, it's not diagnosed, but I'm pretty sure there's an addiction, a porn addiction in there, which isn't good, is it really? So trying to do something about that. I lasted a few days. I'm going to see. My aim was a week. I lasted about 3 and a bit days. So I'll try again soon, I reckon. But I figured I'll cut out the phone usage as well, because that was just getting to be a little bit much with Instagram and everything, which is where the rant comes in. I sometimes feel that I might be too accessible, if that makes sense. It's too easy for people to get hold of me. Not that I don't claim that I should be some fucking, I don't know, celebrity that you can't get near because I've got fucking bodyguards or whatever, or there's a mystique about me that that I'm above answering messages or whatever. But it's just every now and again there's too many people feel happy to send me messages about any and all topics. And, you know, obviously I don't have to respond to any of them, but then it's like, you feel obligated to, especially if it's just a dumb question. Well, not a dumb question, but like a simple question that I can just go, oh, hey, yeah, it's this, it's this, it's this. But then people start asking for like full-on lessons via text message on drawing and stuff, and, you know, asking just to have shit or what I'm doing, or giving advice, like, or suggesting shit I should do, which is another thing I have a big issue with. Unsolicited advice. I've not asked anyone, but people come up out of nowhere and say, hey, you should do this, you should try that. I think it would be really good if you did this. Which, on the one hand, is cool that they are thinking enough of me that they had an idea based around me or what I do. But at the same time, like, don't, because now I don't want to be a dick and go, no, shut up, leave me alone. But instead, I have to be sort of disingenuous and go, oh yeah, that's a really good idea. That's, yeah. I don't know. Again, it's just ranting. It's just thoughts and issues I've had. I don't know. Oh, this started on such a high note. Sometimes I just feel that I'm too bloody nice, is all. You know, you get it? You must see how nice I am all the time, how bloody polite I am, always. You know, I'm a charming motherfucker, is what I am. If I do say so myself, which I do say so myself. I'm a bloody decent guy. Or so I'd have you believe. No, I am. I mean, I know I talk a lot of shit. Yeah, I know that. I say a lot of awful things like piss farts and shit tits and bum aids and cancer babies and shitty cancer tits and titty cancer shits and sticky jizz balls and ass penis and dick fart piss ass and cunt and bollock brain and turd hat and sod fart and piss muffin and fucking pissy shithole and fuck a baby and jerk off on the grave of your parents who died in a tragic traffic accident. God damn it, trying to say tragic and traffic at the same time. I was on a roll there. Fuck, should we do some more? Penis! I say things like penis because I'm polite, and willy farts and smelly welly ding dong and hairy ass balls and piss poo bone disease and ha ha, you've got bone disease. If bone disease is one thing, well, maybe it's several things. And AIDS piss and bleedy AIDS piss. And there's blood in my shit on a regular basis. And cunt vomit. And baby cunts. And baby cunt vomit. And any number of slurs against different races and sexualities said in the comfort and safety of my own home, but not outside, obviously, because that'd be silly. So I know I say a lot of things like that, but at the heart of it, I'm downright gentlemanly. You know? When it comes to like things that actually matter. Because I say that because it's just funny to say awful things, obviously. You know. It's funny to throw a Heil Hitler in the air every now and again, just for the fun and games. But when it comes down to it, like, I don't... Now I'm going to talk about what a good person I am. Like, for instance, if someone orders something and I send it and it doesn't get there, more often than not, I'll just send them another one. I don't expect them to pay for it again. I'll just be like, fuck it, I'll send you more of whatever it is. And if I get like a complaint about something, I'm horribly polite about it. I'm like, okay, cool, I see your point. Let me try to fix things. Let me sort it out, whatever. But then I feel that maybe because of that, I get taken advantage of. And that's sort of what they say, isn't it? You know, if you're too nice, people will take advantage of you. And I think to a degree, people don't necessarily do it knowingly. They're not actively thinking, oh yeah, Ewan's nice, I'm going to fucking rinse him for all his bloody work. But I think, I don't know, I give a lot of leeway to people, and that opens me up to people, I don't know, not taking advantage as such, but you know what I mean. People ask a lot of me sometimes, and it gets a bit much. I don't have an easy time of it as it is. I put a lot of that down. I've been looking a lot into like, signs of unresolved trauma and that sort of thing, because there's a lot of things I've been looking at in myself. I've been looking into myself a lot recently and going like, oh, that's because of this thing that happened and that thing. And, okay, that makes sense. There's a lot of things like that I can point to, and I think that's one of them, is like just being nice all the time. Like, I don't like to argue at all, ever. I don't like confrontation, because there was a lot of arguing at home, and I don't want it anymore. So I try to steer clear wherever possible. So if an argument, or what could turn into an argument, arises, I either just fucking go quiet, or I'll be super duper nice and go, oh no, it's all right, I know, I understand, I don't quite see it from your point of view, but I get that you might see it a different way, rather than just going, no, stop that, you're wrong. I go super nice and go, well, I just don't really be nice. Don't upset anybody, or don't have confrontation. No conflict allowed, please. Don't scream, stop shouting. I'm trying to draw. I just want to draw in peace, but everyone's shouting at home. That sort of thing. So I feel that, like, me. Oh, me. Let's talk about me some more. I set up a podcast an hour every week to talk about me and expect people to listen about me. Ooh, me. Ooh, I'm great. Great me. Ooh. Speaking of me, I do think people, whether they try to or not, they don't see it. Yeah, they can ask a lot, and it's just, like I say, it gets a bit much. Since I don't necessarily have the tools to tell them no straight up. Because then I think about, like, them going away from that interaction and being like, oh, Ewan's a fucking dick. All I did was ask a simple question, and he was like, no, fuck you, piece of shit, fuck yourself. I know Ewan's funny and all, but you don't have to be like that. I don't want people to Not that like people's opinions of me doesn't matter, but it's like you don't want someone to actively have reason to, think negatively of you. Especially when I'm trying to build this whole fucking whatever it is, this thing, this online thing. I'd rather have people think I'm nice and then want to buy my art and give me work and doopy doopy doo 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 me wee. Oh, some people are not nice and it's mean sometimes and wee. Fucking shut up. So here's a picture of a boy in his bat. Isn't that nicely nice? Nicety nice. And it's all very nice. Oh, that's really badly done. Sorry, folks, but we've got the bad art Ewan today. That's too long. That's not long enough. It's alright, it's just a doodle. Just a doodle. Just a little sketchy sketch. Doodly do. Sketchy sketch. Stick it in your cunt. This is a copy of Dracula that he's holding. He also wrote, Richard Matheson, who wrote this tale as well as I Am Legend and whatever that we've already spoken about. He wrote a really cool little short story. It's in the same compilation book, as Blood Sun that we are drawing today. A story called Legion of Plotters about this old guy who has all these annoyances in his life. And he starts piecing together this theory that they're all connected, that there's some legion of people plotting against him, putting all these annoyances, in his way on a daily basis, purposefully, specifically to annoy him for some reason. And then he goes crazy. Very good story. One of those relatable. All the loud neighbours, the guy sniffing incessantly on the bus. So annoying. What do you do? Yeah, that's a good story too. I don't know, I thought my rants would last longer, but I don't really have much to say other than I'm bloody nice. I'm lovely, I am. Some people, I don't know, take that for granted. I'm trying to think of specific examples, but I can't, aside from people contacting me out of the blue to be like, hey, Ewan, how are you? Great, yeah, I haven't spoken to you in so long, cool, yeah. And then I'm like, oh, hey, yeah, how are you? What's going on? And they're like, cool, yeah. So anyway, I was wondering if you could, and I'm like, could you give it fucking another hour? And it's usually like, oh, hey, so, do you want to draw me again? Or if you could do this drawing for me, it'd be really cool. You should look into... Yeah. I think that mentioning unsolicited advice, it's easy to be sort of pissy about it, people just come at you oh, you should do this, you should do that, oh, you should fucking shut up and leave me alone. But it does sort of, for me, I'm sure lots of people can relate, it goes back to your mum saying, oh, can't you draw anything nice, can't you draw some flowers or something, why do you always have to draw skulls and dead things, can't you, why don't you draw something nice? And you just want to yell, just fuck off. you know, the whole point of me drawing shit is because I'm drawing what I'm feeling. I'm getting shit out. I'm going to go, oh, I'll paint a nice watercolour of some lilies. That'll be nice. Will it? No. It'll be shit. It'll be pissy fart shit tits. Shitty fart piss tits. Piss all over my shitty fart tits. My shit smelling gaseous fart tits. My ghostly apparition fart shitty shit tits. Shit all over them. My ecto tits. Ectoplasmic shit tits. Is what I'd say to my mum when she'd say you should draw something nice like flowers or something. Oh, tee-hee. Fun and games, isn't it? I was going to like shadow this all in, but I don't know where, because I don't know if it's shadowing the body, but these are going to be trees, but then I don't want them to. So if I guess make the trees really dark and make the body not quite so dark, but still. I also can't be fucked to draw some trees because they're just fucking not the easiest shits to draw. Or maybe they are. Maybe if I just do this enough, it will look like a tree. Oh, who do I think I am? Bobby Ross. I hate the name Ross, just saying. What are we doing time-wise? Go a bit longer, I suppose. Do we have anything else to discuss? Oh, yes. Again, if you're watching this as it's uploaded, issue 3 of Gun Viking is currently at the printers. It's being printed as you're hearing this. If you're hearing this a bit later, then I might already have it. It might already be on sale by now. But suffice to say, it'll be available very, very soon, as well as reprints of issue 1. And I've got a bunch of copies of issue 2 left. About 40-something copies, I think. So what I'll do at first, when I get them all from the printer, when a UPS guy drops them off at my home, I will count up how many issues. I think it's 45 issues or copies of issue 2 that I have. So I'll put those up for sale along with 45 copies of issue 1 and issue 3. So it'll be 45 copies of issues 1, 2 and 3 each available to purchase all at once. If those will sell out, I may then reprint literally a handful more copies of issue 2 just to make up the numbers and then sell the rest. I might not. I might just be awkward. And then if you've got a copy of issue 2, cool. If you haven't, tough shit. But I know a lot of people have already got issues 1 and 2. Well, not a lot. I know some people have got issues 1 and 2. So issue 3 will probably sell more copies than the other 2. So we'll see how it goes. Oh, my purple's running out. That's good, isn't it? But yeah, I'm very excited about that. I might not sound it, but I'm very excited about that. Because it's literally been like 4 or 5 years since I put issue 2 out. I think it was 2016. So yeah, at least 4 years, if not more. So it's more than due, the new issue. And, oh, I was going to say that too. I'll have something to show for it soon. But I've got the entire 4th issue planned, which brings an end to the current story within Gun Viking. I'm very happy with it, very excited by it. I've got the first page of that roughed out, so in the next sort of couple of days, week or so, I might be able to get that painted just to show it off. I won't have Gun Viking issue 4 done anytime soon. I'd like to, but it's unrealistic. But I'll get like the first page or 2 done just to be like a sneaky peek, you know, something to look forward to. And yeah, as I say, I'm quite excited by the story itself, where it's going, where it ends, this particular arc, this volume. But I also have a really cool idea for like a separate story. Oh, there it goes. It's gone. Shitums. That's the worst thing about this pen is when one colour runs out, I feel to just throw the whole thing away because it's like, well, I know I've got pink in this one, so I can use the pink from here. I'll need the purple from this one and the green from this one. So I'd rather just throw the whole pen out and just use a new one because, you know, fuck it. Luckily, I've got a bunch, so we're okay. But unluckily, it just doesn't even... the ink is never the same tone right when it comes out. It's a slightly lighter purple. So that's a pain in the nards. But yeah, I've got a really good idea for a separate Gun Viking storyline. Yes. Which will... So his backstory is a fraction of his backstory is told in the 4th issue. But then this separate story, I think, will show the whole of his origin tale. Sort of where he came from, how he got his abilities or powers and guns, and an explanation as to why, how he does all the things he can do. And I've got quite a good explanation for that and a good story to like go with it, which would make a cool, I think, like 50 page little mini story, which would be cool to publish on its own. Once I get issue 4 out, of course, I probably won't release it on its own, but I will then take that and put it all together in a book. I think I've said this before like a bunch of times. So I'll put all 4 issues into a book, try to get it published. This might be shooting a bit too high, but aiming a bit too high, but by Image Comics or IDW, somewhere that publishes independent, like, creator comics. We'll see how that goes. Failing that, I'll self-publish it, as I always have done, get it out there at least. And that's the main thing. If nothing else, I probably will print like 20 copies, just to have a few, sell a few, show off a few, send them out to people to say, please publish my comic. But yeah, it'll be a really nice little, like, sort of 100-page book. The 4th issue is going to be 30 pages long. These past 3 have all been 20 pages each, that I've crammed into 20 pages, the stories. But then this one I'm going a bit longer because I can, because I'll have more space. So it'll be about 30, 35 pages. Add on top the previous 60, plus, you know, some artwork and stuff, some cover chapter dividers, some like artwork in the back. Probably no pin-ups from other artists, though I am planning on having those somewhere at some point. But for this, this is like my baby. I just want to have just my book, my artwork, my book. I put it together. I spent the time over years and years and years to put together to make this thing. So it'll be all my artwork in the back and stuff, like original drawings, paintings, pages I didn't use, whatever. The deleted scenes, if you like. And maybe a little like hint of what's to come. But yeah, so that's kind of exciting. Things are moving forward. I'd hope to get a bit further with this, but you know, fuck it, whatever. For now, that'll do. Bye.